Yes, sir.
Ah, good. Thank you. I think today is our last session. We're going to talk about the database lock. So database lock is the final step in clinical data management. So there are different databases in clinical data management process. Okay. So I am not sharing my screen, but when I'm sharing my screen, I'll let you know people. But before that, I just wanted to give you all the broader understanding of it. So you all have exams like when you have in the when you're in the bachelor's or the master's, you always have you all have exams, right? Sometimes not sometimes more, everyone have internal exams followed by a final exams. Do you really know why they keep bothering you all, making you all worry by keeping this internal exams? Do you all know why? Like, why do you think the internal exams are important, or why do you think they even arranging exams? Come on, guys, talk. It's okay. Why do you think? How many of you read? Everyone might have written internal exams, right? I wrote many times. Did my master's, bachelor's. I'll tell you. There was this one. It was my pathology, I think. My during my med school. Um, I like sometimes I don't go to college. Like, and even attendance also matters during college days. So when I didn't go to college days. So when I met my HOD and said that I don't have enough percentage, so I got information that I don't be able to write internal exams. He was like, "Yeah, that's true." You were like, okay, fine, I will not write. So now to go to the final exams, we need to get a no due certificate, no due marks. So when we go there, he was like, no, don't. We will not let you write final exams also. Then I be told some stories. So what they did, they made us to write um, one internals prior to exams, and they saw that we passed, and then we wrote final exams. You see that why the internal exams with we were like, these people don't have work at all, but that's not the reason. In order to run for 10 kilometers also, you always should practice 1 kilometer, 1 kilometer, 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, one day, 2 kilometers. You cannot run every day 10 kilometers from the start, one day one. No, you should always practice, right? So the internal exams also helps you as a practice. So, and internal exams will not have a complete syllabus, right? So first quarter will internals like will have a 25% of your syllabus, and later you will have only another you'll have complete 50%, then 75, then final exam. So it makes you, okay, I got this test in this question in internal, or I prepared already for one round in for internal. Now when you go for the final exams, you'll be very you would have already completed a 4 or 5 times revision because of your internals. You see that? That's the reason that they try to make you prepared for a final exams. That was one reason. The second reason that they want to know whether whatever we are teaching, these people are understanding or not, how many people are passing or how much they are understanding. Because if I directly keep final exams without any internals, we will never know whether the way we are teaching, the way we are explaining is helping or not. Also, that would also helps the teachers or the professors to make certain arrangements or changes in the way they are teaching. And third reason is that these internals would also give you idea how, okay, let's say you got less marks, then it will help you, okay, how much more you should study, how what else you should study, and what should be your future plan. Like, for example, you failed one, not you, someone else failed. Now, how should you study? Like, what is this plan in future? Like, you should study completely, or you should make some revisions, or everything. And I should also, think that, okay, I'm studying much. Maybe I should study more. Okay. This all gives an idea. Same way, in database lock, it's like a final exams. So it will be reviewed by, data will be reviewed by the regulatory authorities to release the drug into the market. But we don't do the final review. Like some clinical trial takes 10 years, 15 years, 13 years also. There's one of the trial I was working on. It was running from last 13 years. There was another trial that was running for 9 years. So if you think that we will do database lock for after 10 years or 8 years, 5 years, then we may go wrong, right? Why? Because for database lock, we ensure to complete the data. No mistakes, no errors, no errors, no gaps, no pending data, everything, right? So that means we will have a clean data. That means the data should be correct, right? So now let me share my screen. So there are different types of database lock in clinical data management with the example of how your internal and the external exams happens. Now let me share my screen. So what is database lock? The process of locking a clinical trial database is an action taken to prevent further changes. So why we lock the houses when no one is there? Why? Because we don't want anyone to steal anything. We don't want anyone to uh, do something in a house, right? Same way, the database lock is kind of is a process of locking the clinical trial databases in an action to take in prevent further changes. Take the first line. I'll tell you what is database lock. Take that. Okay, so a database is locked after review query resolution determinations. Now, once the database is complete and clean, the database is locked to prevent further changes in the data and analysis maybe that has already been performed. Why it is required? One is that to prevent any further changes, to ensure the data integrity for the generation of the results and analysis. Like one side I'm making changes, one side I'm analyzing the data, but other side they keep adding the data, changing the data. Then that would create some errors in the analysis and the submission to the regulatory authority. To make trial database ready for the analysis. So what are there are different types of data locks out there. So one is that the process whereby a data set is ready for the analysis. Now, the first step is the interim lock, like your internal exams. So what we do here, listen very carefully. So this, we log the data, like let's say, after 6 months of the clinical trial starting, or after each patient completes the 10 visits. That means if I have 5 patients, once every patient completes the 10 visits, then we will log the database. So after patient completes, we'll enter the data and we'll log the database. And locking means nothing but no one will work. No one can access the data, right? It shows the error. So what we do, we clean the data. Clean the data means like, is the data is correct? All that data has been entered or not? Are there any pending queries? So when I say pending queries, that means pending answers, pending responses, right? Then then the refers to the process where used to take the snapshot. So now once we review and analysis the data, then patient will start continuing coming to the sites and uh, start entering the data. You might think, sir, what they do after six, completing the database log, what they will do, they will analyze the data, whether we are conducting the trial according to the protocol or not. One thing. Second thing is that so far for the last 6 months, I spent $100 million or $50 million. Am I getting the results what I want? Because if I write exam after 1 year and if I fail, array, I should have studied. No, no, instead of getting the final after 1 year, the thought. But if you keep having exams in between, you will know how much you studied, whether you will pass or fail. Right? Same way, whether I can continue this clinical trial or not, whether I can should I make any modification in this clinical trial or not, or is there any requirement of modifying the protocol or not? Like based on the clinical trial outcomes, they can even change the clinical trial. Okay, so which refers to process of a database at a particular point in time while the study is in progress. It involves the temporary logging of the database. Example for interim analysis, data monitoring committees, data monitoring, analysis, safety review, etc. Take note of it. Put the interim log and put the example interim analysis, DMC. Okay. Now the final log. Within the final log, there are two steps: soft log, hard log. Take note of it. Put the final log and put two arrows. It has the two stages: soft log, hard log. Take note of it. The reason I'm telling you all guys, because it would create a lot of difference when you have in the notes, especially why? Because when you go for the interviews, you will not able to review everything in the PPT. So when you have a notes, you can go through the bullet points and get an idea.